Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to your first Journeys lesson of first grade. Let's get started. Before we begin, I want to introduce myself. I am Mrs. Wilson, and I'm the literacy specialist at Excellence Community Schools. Every morning, we will get together and we will read and do lots of learning. I'm excited to go on this week-long Journeys adventure with you all. Today, we're going to start with beginning sounds. A beginning sound is the first sound at the beginning of a word. For example, if I say the word tap, what sound do you hear? Tap. If you said t, then you're right. T is the beginning sound of the word tap. Let's do some more. Here is a picture of a cap. What's the beginning sound of cap? Shout it out. If you said k, give yourself a pat on the back. The beginning sound for cap is k. Let's look at the next picture. Fan. What sound do you hear at the beginning of fan? Fan. The beginning sound is f. Good job. Let's keep going. Here is a picture of a bat. Say the word bat. What sound do you hear at the beginning of bat? B, bat. The beginning sound is b. And last one. Here is a picture of a boy who is taking a nap. Say nap. What sound do you hear at the beginning? Nap. It is a n. Nice job. Now we're going to work on blending sounds together. Let's take a look at this picture. The first sound is h. The second sound is a. And the third is t. Can you say them with me? H, a, t. Put them all together. Hat. Let's do it again. Hat. Good. Now let's do one together. The word is cat. What sound do you hear at the beginning? K, k. What sound do you hear in the middle? A. And what sound do you hear at the end? T, k, a, t. Blend them all together, you get cat. Good. Let's do another one. The word is sad. What's the first sound? If you said s, good job. The word is sad. What's the middle sound in sa? Good. And the last sound in sad is d. So we have s, a, d. All together, sad. Nice work. Let's work on our letter sounds. Here's a picture of an apple. Apple begins with the sound a. The letter A can stand for the sound a at the beginning or in the middle of a word. Can you say a, apple, a with me? A, apple, a. Nice job. Here is the letter D. And we have a picture of a duck. Duck begins with the sound d. Can you say D, duck, d with me? Let's do it all together. D, duck, d. Let's work on one more sound. Our third letter is N. N makes the sound n. Here is a picture of noodles. N, noodles, n. Say it with me. N, noodles, n. Nice job. Now let's look at some sounds and let's blend them together. The first sound is d. Then when you add an A, you have d, a, d, a. Then you add an N, and now you have D-an, D-an, Dan. Blend it all together, and you get Dan. Nice work. Let's do some more. Let's look at word number 1. Let's look at the first, second, and then third sound. M-at. What does that say all together? Mat. Number 2. K-an. Can. Let's do 3 together. S-am. Sam. Number 4. S-a-d. Sad. 5. At. At. And our last one, K-at. Cat. Now let's look at the sentence at the bottom. I'm going to give you a few seconds to see if you can read this. Were you able to read it? Dad and the cat sat with Cam. Let's read it all together. Dad and the cat sat with Cam. Nice job. Now we're going to work on our high frequency words. High frequency words are words that you will find in a book or a text over and over and over again. It's important to know how to read and write these words to help you read and write better. Let's get started. The first word is and. Let's spell it together. A-N-D. And. The children share the paper and paint. Our next word is be. B-E-B. They like to be on the same team. Our third word is help. H-E-L-P. Help. These pals help each other wash the dog. Play. P-L-A-Y. These pals like to play in the park. With. W-I-T-H. The boy was in a show with his pals. And our last word is you. Y-O-U. I like when you play this game with me. Let's practice our words. Let's start at the top and we'll go down the first row and then to the next. Help, H-E-L-P, help. With, W-I-T-H, with. Be, B-E-B. Play, P-L-A-Y, play. You, Y-O-U, you. And, A-N-D, and. Nice work. Now we're going to learn 3 new vocabulary words. Our first word is excellent. Excellent means very good or highest quality. Here you can see somebody giving a thumbs up. That means they did a good job or an. Our next word is suddenly. Suddenly means quickly or rapidly. If something happens suddenly, it means it came out of nowhere and it happened quick and rapidly and fast. Let's look at this picture. It looks like this dog was walking and there was suddenly a big gust of wind that blew his hat and his umbrella. Suddenly. Our next word is miss. Miss means to not reach or to catch something. If you miss something, it means you didn't get it. Look at this boy. What do you think he just missed? The bus. It looks like he was running to get the bus and it left right before he could, so he just missed it. Now, I'm going to read a fable to you. This is called The Lion and the Mouse. As I read, I'm going to look at each word to make sure that I read it correctly. If a word doesn't make sense or doesn't sound right, I'm going to correct myself by looking at the letters again and rereading it. One day, a long time ago, a lion ate an excellent maul. A lion ate an excellent maul? That doesn't make any sense. Let me look at that word again and try to figure it out. One day, a long time ago, a lion ate an excellent meal. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, let me reread and I'll keep going. One day, a long time ago, a lion ate an excellent meal. As soon as he had finished, he decided to take a nap in his cool den. He stretched out, laid his head on his paws, and was asleep at once. Soon, a curious little mouse peeked around the corner into the lion's den. The mouse could hear the lion snoring, so she tiptoed in. The mouse touched the lion's paw, but he continued to snore. So the little mouse very quietly climbed right on top of the lion's nose. This awakened the king of beasts, but he did not move. Slowly, he opened one eye and saw the mouse. Suddenly, his huge paw came down. Did you hear a vocabulary word? Suddenly? So does that mean his paw slowly came down or fast and quick? Suddenly means quickly or rapidly, so we know that the lion's paw came down quick. He did not miss the tiny creature as soon as she was. Oh, as soon as she was? That didn't make any sense. Let me read that again. He did not miss the tiny creature as quick as she was. That's better. He captured her. The little mouse was terrified. Please, sir, she begged, the king of the beasts, spare me, and I will never forget your kindness. Spare you? Roared the lion. You had no invitation to be here. First you dare to awaken me, then you ask me for a favor? Give me one good reason why I should not eat you. The time may come, replied the little mouse, when I may be able to do a favor for you. You never know when you may need help from a friend like me. The lion began to chuckle. Then he laughed out loud. How could a tiny mouse ever help me, king of the beasts? The lion was so amused that he let the mouse go. She scampered away and disappeared into a dark corner. The lion closed his eyes and soon forgot all about the little mouse. Then, one day, the lion was out hunting for food. He did not know that some hunters had set up a trap to catch him. All of a sudden, the king of the beasts was stuck in a net. The lion suggested to get free. Let me look at that word again. The lion struggled. The lion struggled to get free. The more he fought, however, the more he became tangled in the net. The lion began to panic. This will ruin my life, he thought. Then he let out a giant roar. It was so terrible that it echoed through the forest. Far away, the little mouse stopped and listened. She recognized the voice of the lion who had once spared her life. The little mouse ran through the forest as fast as she could. She found the king of the beasts struggling hopelessly in the tangled net. Hello, your majesty, said the mouse. You seem to be all tied up at the moment. Perhaps I can help set you free. The little mouse nibbled and gnawed at the ropes of the net. She worked and worked. Before long, the net began to weaken. Soon, there was a hole large enough for the lion to wiggle through. After the lion was free, he remembered the beautiful words that the mouse had once said to him. You never know when you may need the help of a friend like me." The lion smiled. Not only had the mouse been right, but she had saved his life. What do you think that the lion learned from the mouse? Think about it. What did the lion learn from the mouse? Well, I think that the lion learned that if you are kind to others, they will be kind to you. Now, let's talk about what our comprehension skill is going to be this week. First, our big one is main idea. As we read, we will look for one big idea that the selection is about. This is the topic. Then, the main idea is the most important idea about that topic. Details are bits of information that tell us more about the main idea. We can list the main idea and details about a topic in a web like this. To help us find the main idea, we always think to ourselves, what is this mostly about? Another skill we'll be working on is genre, specifically informational text. An informational text is a text that provides actual, factual information to readers. Some topics are sports, history, weather, animals. All of these are topics that an informational text can be about. It teaches us real information about a real fact. Our target strategy this week is going to be summarizing. When you summarize a story, you tell what happened in your own words. You use details from the beginning, middle, and end to help you summarize what you just read. Now it's time to read our anchor text. This week we're going to read What is a Pal? But before we start reading, it's important to look at the cover and get our minds ready to start reading. This book is an informational text. Informational texts tell about things that are real. I know this is a story about pals. A pal is a real person. The photographs in this selection show friends in the real world. These things make me think that What is a Pal is an informational text. Let's look at the picture in the cover. Let's predict what this book is going to be about. Well, we know that it's an informational text, so we know it will be about something real. I see two boys who have their arms around each other. And the title says, What is a Pal? And I know that pal means friend, so I think that this book is going to be all about how to be a good friend. What do you think? Let's get started. A pal can help you. Sam and Nat can help Dan. Will you read this with me? Let's start from the first page. A pal can help you. Sam and Nat can help Dan. So what did we just learn about pals? What word did they use to help us know all about pals? Well, the first sentence says, a pal can help you. So we learned that pals or friends are there to help one another. It looks like these boys are all helping gardening. A pal can play with you. Tad, Cam, and Nan can play. Let's read it together. A pal can play with you. Tad, Cam, and Dan can play. Let's look at the pictures. How do you think that the children are feeling about playing with their pals? Well, I see big smiles. I see happy faces. I see kids running. So this lets me know that these pals or these friends are having fun playing together. A pal can be a pet. A pal can be dad. How is the dog being a good pal? Look at that picture. How is that dog being a good pal? Well, it looks like he's sitting with his friend and supporting him. What about dad? How is dad being a good pal? It looks like the dad brought his daughter to maybe a petting zoo, and it looks like he's helping her stand up really tall so she can pet that sheep. It looks like dad and the dog are both being good pals to the kids. A pal can be with you. A pal is fun to be with. Let's read this again. And remember, there's an exclamation point at the end of the second sentence, so let's read that with feeling. A pal can be with you. A pal is fun to play with. Now that we've read a few pages, let's summarize what we've read. I know that summarizing is telling the important ideas of the selection. So far, we've read about pals can be your pet or dad. Pals can help you. And on these 2 pages, it says a pal can be with you and pals are fun to be with. Are you a pal? Let's read that together. There's a question mark at the end, so make sure you're asking a question. Are you a pal? Now, do you think that the children in these pictures are pals? How do you know? Let's look closely. Do you think that they are pals? I do, because when I look at this picture, I see that they are climbing trees together, and they are having fun together and looking happy. Thanks so much for reading with me. I had so much fun with you. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Have a great day.